Thank you very much, Teresa, and hello everyone. Let me begin by paying my respects to the original owners of the land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. You know, the elders in Aboriginal tribes are the custodians of the law. And I'm a Professor Emeritus, which means a retired or has-been professor. But it also means I'm elderly and I'm a custodian of the law. So I pay my fellow custodians, elders past and present, my deepest respect. All of us in this room have found computers and apps and technology has altered our lives. There wouldn't be one person in this room that would say that technology hasn't altered their lives. But I'm willing to say to you that we persons with disabilities have had our lives altered by technology and by computers more than the rest. For me, technology is doing the work that my eyes can't do because they're plastic inserts. And today I want to talk a little bit about, and only for a few minutes, the apps I use and technologies I use to make life easier. Well, I get up of a morning and want to look at the news, and I have my iPhone with its iOS voice over technology, which is in all iPhones. If you want to find out your voice on your iPhone, press Siri and ask it to turn voiceover on. But remember to get Siri to turn it off, because it can become quite confusing. And the first app I'll go to will be the Guardian app. And I will read the headlines on the Guardian. That's probably the first thing I do. Then have a daughter at university who will want some money. You know, even grown-up, even married children seem to need money. It's phenomenal. So I get out my wallet, I pull out the money. I don't want to give her the wrong amount. And so I use my Money Reader app, which photographs the notes and will tell me whether it's Australian or American or 50 or 10, $20. When I walk down the street to get or in the city, one of it's not an app, but one of the technologies that makes my life so much easier are the clicking lights. Because they take the angst, they take the chanceness out of crossing a road. It's a bit like Russian roulette. I also love bank machines. And you'll see me running down the street about 6 a.m. in my tracksuit with my earphones, and I go to the bank machine and I put in my earphones and my card and I get my money out. Before we had those, and my children were teenage, and if my wife was away, I'd have to get one of them to come down with me to the bank machine. And they'd say, "Dad, what's my cut?" I say, "Oh, shit, hang on." But as for apps, well, when I'm walking with my dog, I use Ariadne GPS, which is an app which will actually tell me when I'm walking along the numbers of the houses I'm passing. Not only the street, but the numbers of the house. You're now at 17 Tyndale Road, you're now at 50 Tyndale Road, so I can't get lost. I also use Blind Square, which will tell me what are the shopping precincts around, what are the shops if I'm looking for a particular shop. I was on a bus with my earphones listening to Blind Square, and it was telling me the shops I was passing, and I thought, is this like Seed? I thought, no, it really can't be like Seed, because I would know what the shop was really like. I have another app which takes a photograph. It's called Tap Tap See, that's S-E-E, a tap on it, takes the photograph, and it goes somewhere up into the cloud, and it tells me what the photograph is. It says, "Please don't take pornographic photographs." I'm a bit too shy to do that. I wonder what it would say, like, "I'm not going to tell you what this picture says." I've mainly used it on wine bottle labels. I use an app called VoiceStream. When anyone sends me something in an email, I download it, if it's a book, a paper, an article, and I have it read out to me in high quality speech up to 500 words a minute. it's hard to know how things will get better. I must tell you another funny story. I was at a conference, and you wouldn't think it. When I'm up on the stage, I'm a little bit of a different persona. I can talk like this, but if I'm one-to-one, I'm a bit shy. And I was with all these new people at this conference, and they didn't know much about disabled people, and I was very nervous. And I'm in the hotel room, and I couldn't find the kettle. And I thought, do I go out and ask one of these people? And I thought, they'll think I'm stupid. So I phoned a colleague on FaceTime. You all know FaceTime? Mm-hmm. I said, can you help me find my kettle? And I said, if I move around like this with the front view. And she said, stop there! The kettle's just ahead. It's hard to know how technology will get better. It's made my life and my independence extraordinary. I have another app that is named after Ray Kurzweil, the great Kurzweil KNFB reader, in which I can, if I'm in a restaurant, I can just use the scanner and it will scan the menu and read it out to me. And then I can work out, rather than someone telling me what I really like. You know, you get people and they skim over the menu and they say, oh, you wouldn't like that. And I'm thinking, hang on, I might. Particularly the wine list. It's hard to know what will come next. But for we disabled persons, technology has been one of the most remarkable liberators. And I don't know what I did to be born during this age. We blind people have been on the world as long as humans have. We were with you in the caves. We were with you in hunter-gatherer societies. We were with you in agriculture. We were with you in the Middle Ages. We were with you in the Gospels of Jesus Christ. But for whatever reason, I'm amongst that very few of the 33 million totally blind people in this world who live in a developed country and have access to technology that no blind person ever in the history of our world has had so many doors open. Bless you all, take care, thank you very much.